This is Carlos, and I'm
Hello.
Submarine. Haha. And Alfred's name tag is currently not there. But, alright, take it away.
Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to use the IR emitter and receiver to control a TV through a website with the Matrix Creator. So if we can get started, can you change the screen?
Yes. I will change the screen. Let me first go here, and then go. Cool.
Alright, so to get started, on our GitHub, you'll find a repository called Matrix TV Remote Website. So this has all the instructions you need to get started from a fresh Raspbian Stretch installation. For this installation, we'll be using a Raspberry Pi with Raspbian Stretch Lite, which is just a terminal version. So to get started, we're just going to follow the instructions step by step. So really quick, we'll just open up our terminal. And then you're going to want to SSH into the Pi. Oop, half and half. Oh, that's fine. Alright, so let's see. It should be pi at 192.168.1.
You did a comma instead of a dot.
Oh, my bad. 192.168.1.81. See, that should work. There we go. So we'll connect to the Raspberry Pi, put in the default password, which is Raspberry, and we're good to get started. So first step is we already have a GitHub repository that lets you get started with IR, which is called Matrix Creator IR Test. And from here, you're just going to follow steps 1 and 2. Here, you can even see a little GIF here where it shows you what the end result's going to look like. So we're basically going to make a wrapper around this repository to just control it through a website instead of a terminal. So the advantage of that is that you can pull it up on your phone and control your TV or any IR-enabled device. So one by one, we'll start copying it.
Quick thing, Carlos. Could you switch the terminal to be on the left side? Because we have the video on the right side.
So what you can do is go here and make it smaller, like
Okay.
and then hit the terminal and put it.
The thing that I can do here is...
Or you can do something better.
Yeah, right.
That works nice.
All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
There we go.
That way it doesn't get blocked by your video.
Yep, sorry about that.
Cool.
So moving on, we'll just start installing all the necessary packages to have all the dependencies needed. So as to save time, we've already done this, but this is just to walk you through and show you what it would actually look like if you started from scratch. Only difference is that we're doing this a lot faster. So installing and updating all of the packages we have on our Pi, as well as installing the Matrix packages, which are coming up right now. There we go. Alright, and then we'll reboot. Well, here we won't reboot to save time, but after you reboot, so just, pretend. Should be a quick guide. Alright, so now that we have all the basic dependencies installed, we're going to install this dependency called PyGPIO, which is what we use to actually control the GPIO pins. So what we do here is, and through the GPIO pins, you can actually call the IR emitter and receiver, which, let me install this real quick. So if you look here, this is a pin that we have with the Matrix Creator attached to the Raspberry Pi, and what we're doing is using GPIO, let me see if I can zoom in to show you better. We're using here GPIO 13, which is the IR transmitter, and then GPIO
16, right?
16,
Up
yeah.
there.
No. Yeah, 16, which is the receiver. So one to record commands and one to emit commands. Okay, and what we just did right now, pip install PyGPIO, was installing the Python dependency. So because the program to record and send IR messages is written in Python, so we'll need that. And then that should be it. From this repository, we only needed step 1 and 2. And now we can actually just close that. And back to the TV repository here, the website. So once you have the dependencies installed there, you're going to want to do sudo pygpiod on your Raspberry Pi. What this does is actually start pygpio. So with that started, which this has to be done on boot each time, but we'll show you how to have it your Raspberry Pi do it automatically. You're also going to want to install Git to download this repository to have the website and everything else set up. So we'll do that right now. And really quick, should be cloning. Alright, and just to prove it, there it is, the TV remote folder. That has everything you need to get started. And it's also written in Node.js, so we're also going to install that onto the Raspberry Pi. Oh, my bad. And copy that. Alright, that shouldn't take too long. We're going to install Node version 8.6 because it's compatible with our Matrix core layer.
Alright.
Okay, so that should almost be done. There we go.
Nice.
And just a sec, we could type in node-v, and there we go, version 8.6. So now what we're going to do is go into our repository and install all the node dependencies inside. And this is built using Express to host a website and Socket.io to have a connection between the website and the client, which would be your web browser. So that means you can load it up on your iPad or any tablet, phone, any computer, anything that can use a web browser, it can load this website to control your TV.
Alright, so...
Okay, now if you can, what we're going to do here is that, can you have both this screen and the
other screen?
Yeah.
So what you can do is, you could maybe do three-way? I don't know, but this is the tab with the, so if you join meeting.
What we do right now, to save some time, we have, is it here?
I'll be back.
Okay, so what we do is that we have a TV positioned over there, and that has a Pi already set up aimed at the TV, so when we start recording command, which is what we're going to do right now, we can just set that up really quickly. So let me just wait for that setup to go by. Is it set up? All good?
1 second.
Some little troubles, so I'll keep you guys entertained.
So in the meantime, oh,
All
it's
good?
there? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, there you go.
Okay, and just to have a better view, I'm going to shrink this and also bring back the terminal so we can actually see everything. Okay. There you go. So, oop.
Alright.
Okay, so there's a TV with the Matrix Creator, as you can see right there, and then the terminal will be right here. So, oop. Oh, the mouse is a little stuck, and then right now we'll go back to the command we were just on. So, close out some tabs, and then okay. Right here, we'll copy this command. What this command will do is that it'll go into the folder that we just cloned for the project and actually run the script inside, which is right here, TV commands. This is what holds the Python script from the other repository. So we'll start that. Oop, did not copy. Copy and paste. There you go. So what this does is that it makes the shell script in there executable, and then it'll run it. And what the shell script does is that it already has preset commands to record and look out for. So I'm going to run that.
Alright.
And I'm going to go record the command right now.
So Carlos is going to record the commands. I will let you see him do that, I suppose. Yeah, we can see you. So, yeah, wait, what?
You need to share your screen.
I need to share my screen. Sorry. So
yeah,
Carlos needs to be able to see what
there,
we're doing.
Present now.
Present now. Sorry about that. Is that working?
I don't see
Click present now again.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
your entire
now it's
screen.
gonna work. Share.
Okay, and then
All
click
right.
his.
Awesome.
Click his video.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
You can see here, so
They can't hear you,
Hold on,
Carlos.
Speak now. Wait.
Well, no, you can't
Wait,
unmute
no.
him from here.
Oh.
So basically, Carlos is pointing the
Yes.
remote at the Matrix Creator, and on the script, it's telling him to press number 5, number 4, number 3, and it's going to go through all of the possible, or at least all of the main remote commands that you would want programmed. So every time it says number 8, Carlos is basically, or whatever number, he is pressing the corresponding button on the remote, and the IR receiver on the front of the Matrix Creator, which if you don't know where it is, I'll show it. Yeah, we're on the video. So it is right above the center hole, the little black component. That is the IR receiver. And then above that is an IR transmitter. And on the very back, at the top of the Matrix Creator, is another IR transmitter.
Right. So
he
that's how
should
it's
be
working.
almost done with all the commands.
And FYI, if your buttons are different, you should be able to go into the code and like configure it. You know, like for example, if you don't have a button called input but have a button called source or something, you can go change that. Like really easy to modify. But this is particularly for this remote and it's pretty standard, I think.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't work for you, you can always go in and...
Yeah, and let's say you have other buttons on your remote, like some remotes, like for, let's say, Comcast boxes, you can control the Comcast box and the TV and a bunch of other things. So you could just add in more commands there.
Cool.
All set?
All right.
Okay, so time to go back here. Can you adjust the camera? Actually, no. Actually, we're good here.
Yeah, we're fine.
What can they see? Okay.
So they can see this.
All right. So now that once we have that done, I'll go back here. So all the commands are recorded, and just for people that want to edit their commands or even save them, what you can do is that you can, in the TV remote TV commands folder, there's going to be a file called codes.json. So what this has is every code, every command that you recorded, and the code that goes with them. So if I just print out the contents of what's in there, you can see we have the code for volume up, the code for volume down, the code for up, the code for right. So this contains everything you need, and you can just copy and paste this somewhere else if you want to save this for the future, so you don't have to do the whole recording process again. And then just to start running the website right here, this will go into the project and run the app.js file, which is what actually has the website, or has all the script to manage this. So the server is initiated, so now if I go to the web browser and type in my Pi's here, to visit it, it's your Raspberry Pi's IP address at port 8080. So we're going to type in 192.168.1.81, and the port is 8080. Enter. And here we go. This is a basic website. So this is initially modeled after a Comcast remote that I had, but you can easily just change some letters around and some of the commands to meet your needs. So as you can see right here for the TV, we're just going to raise the volume. Can they see the TV?
No. So if you pull up the TV on this side, that'd be great.
Got it. Okay, so the mouse here is a little bit.
Do you want me to help?
It's good.
You got it. Okay.
Oh.
Just the tap once. Good.
Okay, so to do this real quick, we'll just shrink it. It's also mobile. It's responsive, so it'll work on mobile devices and still look good. So real quick, we're gonna raise the volume, and there you go. On the TV side, you can see it actually being raised the moment we click it, and it's also being logged in the terminal. Another feature is that we also log the amount of users on the website, so you won't have, someone secretly going on there without you knowing. You'll know how many people are using the remote. And if you notice, every time I click around here, there's going to be a light blinking. That's one way you'll know that it's working. See right there on the Matrix Creator, there's a blue light blinking each time I click a button. So let's try right now the guide. So here I had it mapped to the menu button on R control, and you can see that I'm actually controlling the TV without being in the same room. So with this, you can use, for whatever application you want to do, you can actually have a way to control an IR controller without being in the same room or even in the same house if you set it up properly in the network. And yeah, that's the entire guide, just to show you how to get that set up, and yeah, that should be it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to switch back to this view so we can all say bye, or actually make an announcement before we say bye. Yeah. Let me stick with this screen. ARM Dev Day is coming up. It's in January on the 22nd, and it's basically like a day-long online workshop. You like multiple workshops. Like we're doing one, and then there's 96 boards that who we just talked to, Mini Nodes, OpenMV, Ambient Lab, and Accutronics. So really cool. You get to learn a bunch. And like hear cool speakers talk about their technology. So go check them out, sign up for a workshop. We're doing Matrix Creator workshop. I don't know if I should keep it a secret what we're doing, but probably not. I don't know. We'll keep it a surprise. Yeah, we'll keep it a surprise. All right. So anyway, join this. It's on Hackster. We'll put the link in our description afterwards. And FunkCam. All right. So this was our guide. And hopefully everybody enjoyed the interview. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on our YouTube chat or YouTube comments, post on our community, things like that. The usual, and thank you for watching.
Right.
A couple more things.
Couple more things.
So for the guide, the main TV remote guide itself is on Hackster, but what Carlos just showed you is a repo on our GitHub. And within that repo is where we have the actual interface, the website, basically.
So the guide we have on Hackster shows you how to download the example with PyGPIO. They have a written Python example that we've just added the pins that control the IO receiver and emitter to just control your, to record and send commands. And what this project does is it has a wrapper around that project, so you can interface with it through a website instead. So it's just you can do whatever you want with it. It's just an example of the potential of what you can do.
Yeah. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to post an issue on our GitHub or go to our community.matrix.one.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess that's about it. Let me check the chat.
All right, we're gonna check the chat one more time. But other than that, you can always ask questions at any time.
Yeah, we're active on the community, so any questions posted there, we'll try our best to answer.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.